and he sold a whole lot in America and around the world, actually. But he had all his numbered, and then his estate's still in Kentucky. That's why I wanted to see who was calling in from Evansville, because his family lives up there. But that's how we got started with the readings by accident. But fortunately, as soon as she came on, so did Suzanne to save us, because I didn't have my cards out for tonight. Well, Uncle Jack, I want you to know Tommy, because Tommy's been helping me hold our art fort down since I left Hawaii. I was an artist of Hawaii. I might have mentioned that to you. So he's been helping us in the Big Island. I don't think he's discovered my art of pogs, but I don't think he's been out looking for my work either. So I have to send him out to look for my pogs in Hawaii.
Yeah, we gotta see your art, TJ. I haven't seen any of your art.
I told you they took it all and made a lot of money off of it commercially.
Wow.
My husband, that was one of my husbands in the government, and other people.
Well, you just keep painting. You do new.
Well, I mean, there may be. I had a Jesus portrait. I did a Jesus, and I don't know what happened to that. That was in Alabama during the university years. But when I started Assured Confidential Investigative Reports, I did a Jesus came to me in a gold Pantene, I guess you'd say, Rich.
Gold
really
Pantene?
Gold and beige, light. And so I put it on like a 16 by 20 canvas.
So TJ, what's your favorite What's your favorite museum in the world that you've been to?
The Louvre.
Favorite art museum? The Louvre. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, hard to beat that.
The other one would be in Madrid, Spain. I liked that one, but I don't remember the name of it. Do you, Uncle Jack?
Yeah, it was called the Prado.
Yeah, the Prado. I saw a lot of the Catholic work in there, right?
Yeah, they have. What do they have at the Prado, Jack? Well, they've actually, it's much more than just one religious thing in the Prado. It covers all religious leaders, and Velasquez and people like that, and Bosch, and so it's much more comprehensive. It's not just not religious people. Actually, the Prado's fantastic. It's worth a trip. It's really marvelous.
Yeah.
But they do nothing
at all. But I loved there, and then I went to Lisbon. What was in Lisbon, Uncle Jack?
Well, you have Guernica's in there. I think not only Guernica's in Lisbon or just in Madrid, but in Lisbon, the biggest and the nicest things are the houses which they decorated with tiles, because tile work became very important there. And they've done all the monasteries and very wealthy homes in tiles. And so you go to these homes that are opened up, and the walls, ceilings, everything are tiles. It's really beautiful, really quite unusual. But it's not like the graphic arts, I think, because Prado has a different climate and all. So it's just on the walls, and it's really quite exciting.
Did you go to the castle there in Lisbon for the kings and the queens? They have it preserved, and the people must have been about 4 foot tall. Did you ever take that tour?
I didn't get to do everything. I wasn't really on a sightseeing. I was. That's back during the ACO Expo years in 92, 93. I was on my spiritual journey, and I was an artist then. But my people that had a retail store in Maui needed me to go over and buy some more cork in Spain, because I did Quercus suber oak trees. With my art was my clothes and my trench coats and my purses and my handbags, small leather goods, because I was in the California Mart and I was in Atlanta Apparel Mart. So what happened is, even though I was an artist in oil and I was an artist of Hawaii, I went into making an alternative to leather, and Willie Nelson was doing hemp, and he was a singer and I was a singer, and we were both songwriters, but he and I had booths at the Eco Expo, so we had to go over and buy more product. So while I was on a buying trip and negotiating contracts with Spain and Portugal, I snuck over to those museums when people couldn't work. But I thought it was odd that, we're used to as Americans working all day, but Jack, they took a lot of siestas. When you're a working girl and you want to come over and work, they sleep like 2 hours or 3 hours midday. You know what I'm talking about? They just stop.
Well, I'm all for that. That's what I do. You take you break the day up, and it sort of starts new things happening. Huh? It's true, So that way you get you give your consciousness a chance to kind of refresh itself. So a nap is an important part of my calendar. I always manage to get about midday. You get up in the morning, so you get started.
Who started that culture? The artists or the farmers or the
the farmers.
People?
The farmers, because it's like here today. Well, in California, it's like 100 degrees, so you'd want to work during the morning, sun up, then work till like 9, 10, have a big lunch, and then with wine, and then siesta till it gets cooler, and then you work, and then you stay up all night. You're up till 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, because it's just all about the weather.
Yeah, they wanted to talk soccer, but they called it football. When I was over there, the men all wanted to negotiate. They didn't really want to negotiate with me, so thank God it took a man, even though I was the boss. But I had to have a translator. I took the girl. She was Spanish, or where was she from? Puerto Rico. But she could speak España, Spain. It was a little different, right? Jack, you know that, being from Mexico and Spain.
Yeah.
But she did pretty good.
Yeah, it's the same thing like in Brazil. They speak Spanish, but it's like Portuguese.
Portuguese, yeah. That was quite a. That was a lot for one girl. I was only like 33, but I was already the president, CEO, and already made an artist away. But Tommy didn't get to meet me then, but he became part of my family with our past life interest. But he didn't understand the connection. But he met Janet in Hawaii in 2012. But Uncle Jack, Tommy has been holding the fort until you came along, till 2020 for Ace Folklife, because Tommy, you're not really an artist, right? But you were holding it, Ace Folklife. He's more of a metaphysician. He's been holding the energy for you, Jack, for 8 years till you got here.
Well, that's good. I'm certainly happy here. It's a very good ambiance for an artist that I'm in right now.
Well, I hope you stay with us. Let's talk to your granddaughter. Let's see on your wait, Suzanne, is that his granddaughter by marriage? Your daughter's on the line?
No, my daughter's on the line, but he has 2 pictures online of himself with his daughters. He has one daughter named Alicia, and he has another daughter named Zara. And Zara is 34, and I believe Alicia is 38, and those are his daughters.
Yeah, lovely.
I don't know why we got a buzz on your phone, but I noticed it when you were talking.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes it doesn't. Well, who's your daughter? Introduce your daughter so we can talk to her.
Oh,
for
my
a minute.
God.
Uncle Jack.
My daughter is on the phone, and it's my daughter, and it's Katharina, and she's Katharina Hirschfeld, and she's sitting here listening.
Well, is she on one of these phone lines that's open?
She's
949.
She's on 310. 310.
Katharina, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. So there's no feedback there. Maybe y'all can be in.
Yeah, we're all in the same room. I just have myself on mute when she's talking.
Okay, when she talked, then each one of y'all mute.
Yeah, we've perfected, the art of muting through conversation with all these Zoom things you have to have in the same conference room.
Okay, Catherine, say your name properly because this is being recorded historically, but for Tommy and Uncle Jack meeting for the Ace Folklife, of course, I knew Suzanne Rich, but I don't know you. So would you, for the record, go ahead and introduce your name and the type of background you have and how you fit into all this artist spiritual community, if you would?
Oh, so yeah, you said my name right. It's Katharina. It's easier when you hear it than when you read it. But yeah, so Katharina, I actually, I was born into it, obviously, with my mom being who she is and being a psychic since the age of 16. So growing up with astrology and tarot cards and psychics around the house was just a normal part of my childhood. And I rebelled and went into the legal field where, right brain, logic, evidence, nothing of the metaphysical world. So I came back to it as an adult to kind of balance out my right brain process in the legal field, and started doing dream class, dream interpretation, and began studying astrology and what we call the divining arts. We have a little group and we get together and discuss all of our metaphysical and divining interests.
Wow, great. And you are in your 30s, aren't you? 36 or so?
34. Just turned 34 in July.
Oh, wonderful. So, Tommy, this is Katharina, and she's new, too. We hope she'll become a part of our ACE Folk Life or ACE Metaphysical. And sounds like she's more of a metaphysician than an artist, but I think Jack is both. Rich and Suzanne are probably both, because Suzanne sent me a lot of Art Deco, so I know she does art. But anyway, Tommy, say hi to Katharina, and let's find out if she does art or just metaphysics and stuff. See what you can find out.
Greetings. Yeah, I got involved with so many things all my life. Nothing was voluntarily. I was pulled into it or pushed into it, or it just happened that I was stuck in the middle of it. But I'm glad that I did, because I went through a couple marriages that were good while they lasted. One lasted 10 years, one lasted 20 years. But after I got out of that, I ended up staying with a Buddhist who's an incredible person. And I learned a lot more about Buddhism in a different way. I worked with a deity when I was young, and I didn't even know who or what it was for many years. So each thing I got pulled into was not like I didn't plan on doing this, I didn't plan on doing that. It just was thrown in my face, and I had to deal with it. But seems like you pushed yourself into what you wanted to do, which is a good thing to do. But how are you dealing with it now?
Yeah, I didn't understand that it was different, right? My mom would communicate with me via images, and I didn't understand that was different, or a way that you didn't communicate with people. I thought just, getting images and having no outer dialogue was normal. When I was asked to find things in the house, I would be able to go find them at a very young age. I just that stuff kind of came naturally to me. And I kind of grew out of it for a little while. So being able to tap back into it has been, you kind of have to find your own process and what interests you. And then I think you're able to tap into those gifts really quickly. So I started following a lot of people at Hay House and kind of those spiritual teachers. And then I fell in with an attorney who follows a lot of Buddhist practices, got me into yoga. We feng shui our office, and so she followed a lot of those things. So I think that kind of brought me back into the fold, working, just being at work and us having overlapping interests. So it's fun to work into our legal practice where we follow astrology on things that are good days, bad days to go to court or file things or have meetings. And so we really take it to heart. And I think it helps us a lot in our interactions with our clients. And then just, when you're going to have kind of a bad day at the office because, there's some Mars aspect or Pluto aspect happening. So it just helps you be prepared.
I was going to have an operation, and the doctor gave me a date and it was a really bad day that I knew would be a really bad. And I said, I really would take any other day than that day. And he says, for you, I'll do anything. And he changed the date for me. But it was a really important operation. I mean, it was for my shoulder.